Under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Clerk, have roll, please.
Chairman John Eric Hoover.
Here.
Vice Chairwoman Caroline Gonzalez.
Here.
Member Sally Carey. I'm here. Member Adam Thompson.
Present.
Member Julie Keenan. Let the record show that Member Julie Keenan is absent from today's meeting. Member Kimla Carey.
Here.
Member Debbie Robinson.
Here.
And Member Janet Applefield.
Thank you. Okay. First up, we have several minutes to approve. We'll go through them one at a time. So I'll go through them. I don't know if you guys reviewed them, if there's any changes. I do have a question on the fifth set, but I'll address that when I get there. So if I could have a motion for the March 18th set.
Motion.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Need a motion for the March 25th, 25 set minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, motion second. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Need a motion for the April 9th, 25 Centennial minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Need a motion for the April 22nd, 25 Centennial minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any further discussion? Put to vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Before we have a motion for May 6th, 2005 Centennial minutes, which should be 25.
Yes.
There was one item in there that, and I noticed that we don't say whether the motion carries or not. So if we go to the that set, which is on page starting page 19. So on page 20, there was a motion made to set a rain out date of May 31st. It shows we had 4 voting yay and 4 voting nay, so that did not carry. But I noticed that we don't normally put the whether the motion passed or failed or
Which
not.
number are we talking about? Number 5?
That might have been item number 4. Finalize the food truck car show event.
Yeah.
And it still says card show as well. The agenda. But anyway, just it's accurate. It has the 4 and 4. But just as a point of clarity, we probably ought to
Motion failed him.
fail to pass or pass. I thought we used to put stuff on there, but
We may have. She just she was in a
cranking these out.
trying to get these out as quick, for this final meeting. So I'll let her know the typo on both the cover and the on number 4, and then also to add a line So I make a motion to approve the minutes with the following changes.
Second.
Okay, motion second for discussion. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Need a motion for the May 13th, 25 schedule minutes?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, motion Kim second. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And finally, I need a motion for the May 27th, 25 schedule minutes.
Motion.
Second.
And any further discussion? All saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And just to clarify, all of those motions were to approve.
Yes.
That's correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Next up is comments from the general public. We are publicless. We have nobody out here in the audience, nobody online, so I'll pass that up and move on to committee business. First up is item number 2, Centennial Events Budget Discussion. I'll pass that to Mr. Thompson for his thorough review of our budget and where we're at.
Did you see any mistakes in it so far?
No, it looks pretty kind of. The only thing I wanted to point out, I pointed out before on the mayor cash for $100 under the mayor's ball, that was from Sue Duncan.
Yes.
That was not for me.
Oh, for the ticket?
Yes.
Oh,
So if
yeah,
you would
sorry.
Just annotate it should be Sue Duncan.
Sue Duncan. I will.
I actually did bring in $200 cash for Lima and Manolio, but you have them listed out here.
Yeah, those two we fixed, but then you brought in.
I paid for them.
Yeah. Oh, but the other lady too, though,
The
right?
Sue Duncan, she brought in herself. I don't know why it
Oh.
got associated with me. I think she came in to say it's for the mayor's ball, and somebody just said
Yeah, because they told me the mayor paid it. Okay, so I can fix that.
it was not me.
And was Lori Simpson refunded?
She's made whole.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, and just so I'm assuming that's what the blue highlighting represents. Is that was a kind of refund?
Yes,
So if you look, Lori Simpson was refunded $100,
she was refunded $100. Yeah, and then Terrell Tompkins was refunded.
and I have Terrell Hopkins' check right here, which I'm going to give to him. We're having lunch with him tomorrow. So
So
Terrell.
altogether, we refunded $500 and was that $62, and that's with the $3 processing fee we had including all those refunds.
and just so you know, the reason Terrell Hopkins, he was a $1,000 sponsor for the Port Richey. So we
You
made
gotta
that change
appreciate
where
him.
we were given if you were 1,000 or more, you got one seat. And so he had bought two, one for him and his wife, and so we're refunding his $100.
So we budgeted $47,700. We spent $52,668.79. We went over our original budget by $4,892.27. But with the amount that we didn't spend our budgeted, we ended up with about $967.73 in there. With our, I didn't include because the mayor didn't want me to, and I agree with him. I didn't include any of the sale items, the coins, the T-shirts, any of the entry fees to get in there. That wasn't included in this our budgeted amount for our show or for our events. So the event cash we made about $5,953, and a sale of items that's the T-shirts and the coins, we made $1,040. So that's really what we have left is $7,884.21. I know we have some plaques out there. I think he just sent me an email a few minutes ago. We still have to pay for the plaques out of that, which I think was, would you say, $400?
Yeah. So the sponsor plaques are right now at $426. There may be just one additional plaque for the case that we talked about, and I just wanted to confirm that tonight, that we just wanted to have all the sponsor names and all the committee names on that particular plaque.
Yeah, kind of a commemorative plaque.
I see not exceeding $500, even including that plaque. So that's going out to all 24 sponsors, and then the one for the case.
And so that's an agenda item. We'll get back to the details on that. So around $500 we'll see. So everything's cleared at this point. Right now we have about $7,884 pending this payment, so we should be around
$7,300.
$7,300 to the good.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I know we had talked about what to do with that. Are we just rolling that up? Do you want
So my thought, as it was before and still, is that should be seed money going into the event committee, so we have something starting out with, and then also we'll start to as we develop events or whatever, we'll have different sponsorship campaigns to get money, and we'll just keep adding that up and give them a starting balance.
What happened to the donations to our five charities?
I'm going to cover that in just a second.
Okay. I'll wait.
So and just to be clear, the event cash and all this, those numbers don't include the donation money, right?
Yes, there
Okay,
was
that's
1280.
separate.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you see here is sponsorship coming in, money going out, anything we sold from T-shirts and whatnot that was not donations, sent separately, we're going to have about a balance of $7,300. And so, yeah. And so again, I think there's a couple different ways we do it. Technically, it would roll right into the general fund, I guess, right?
Yes.
Because there's overage. But honestly, this money was donated to 4 events for the Centennial and whatnot. And so I think it makes sense to give that committee something to start with as they start to go forward.
So what we need to do is at a meeting, we need to make a resolution, create an account so that we can stick that money in there. Yeah.
But I want to make sure that the committee was okay with that. Any objections to that, or any other ideas to do with that money?
So we need a new account? I thought there was just like a regular events account that was already made up.
Well, that's an account. The events account is something that just rolls into. It's part of our revenue. This I would put into like a liability, like a restricted line. So like it would start with $7,300, and then if we did the same thing next year, we got another $20,000. We had $700 left, $7,000 left out of that. I would move that over into that line, so you had $14,000, and you can. I guess the resolution would describe how you use it. You can use it.
Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, we could put it in a different line. It's just a different line. Not a different account.
We'll just need a holding bucket for donation monies for events and whatnot. We wouldn't need more than one account, just one.
It's just a line item. It's all in the bank.
I thought that was already created. I didn't realize it wasn't done.
No, we do have that line inside the budget, but those lines roll up into the next year. So this would be something different. So I'd roll that instead of rolling up with the rest of it. I'd roll it into that.
It'd be a carry forward balance for that.
Yeah, carry forward.
Carried forward. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so you wouldn't see it every year on.
Otherwise, at the end of the budget, this zeroes out.
Money, to use.
So otherwise,
Got it.
So I'll move once we pay for that. I'll move whatever's left over in this line item. It'd be a carry forward line item. It wouldn't show up in your budget. You would just have it there, kind of like some other things that we have. And so I can, if you ever need, anybody can come in and ask about it. But if you're buying something out of it, the council or anybody can say, how much do we have in that line item?
Is there any objections to that methodology?
Nope. I did want to make a comment. I completely forgot to submit the invoice for the little boxes. So I have it. I sent myself an email.
I thought we paid that. The little boxes?
No, I paid it and I never requested it.
Oh, for you?
Yes. I paid it so it can get here fast.
Oh, $56.
$56.70.
Yeah, just submit the receipt.
Yeah. So I'll send you the invoice.
Yes.
But just wanted to let you know that was still, I forgot about that till now.
Well, that ruins everything.
I know. I'm so
Only
sorry.
$56.
We have no
$56. I'm sorry.
Motion not to approve.
So what are we doing with the charity money then? I didn't understand what you were saying. I thought you said do
I
we
got a
approve the
nice
methodology?
spreadsheet to show every penny.
To carry the balance to the events committee.
So events committee. So by consensus, we're going to keep this rolling into event and do that. I'll take that to council on Tuesday during the committee thing. Just make sure they're good with that. But that's what we'll propose. Now, the donation money.
Okay.
As we were so anxiously waiting. So if you can see this, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Down here. Okay. So we collected $1,280 in cash. And we had on the credit card, which we had an option at the mayor's ball, we had 175 donations via credit card, less the $6.58 card fees, came to a total donation of $1,448.42. Because of the way the city's structured, and we're looking at putting a process in place, so we're going to do this in the future. A nonprofit, Down School of Business, handled that for us, and so they kept $144.84 for themselves, for 10% of that for the fee, and then so that left $1,303.58 to distribute to our 5 charities. which gave total per charity $260.71. There was 3 cents held back into the because to make them equal. So there was 5 checks for $260.71. The status, which I need to, if somebody has Kerry Kinsella's phone number, I don't know if you have it or not, Kim, but that's the only one he's not been able to send to because there was no, I think he sent an email and he never got responded back to. And we didn't have a phone number on the website. And so we can't get a hold of her. So that's in a waiting status. He's mailed the 3 there you see to Vet Catch, West Pasco, and All Hands and Hearts. And then he hand delivered the one to the Runaways Animal Rescue. So we just have that one check for Crawl for the Cure that still needs to be written to her. And then that will be, so.
We can probably get her number from
If you
Tom.
give me the information, I'll get it to Ron. He can reach out to her.
Or do you have her number?
I'll look into it, but one way or the other, either I'll reach out to Tom.
Yeah, and if you want, he can cut the check and then lead up here to City Hall and come get however she wants to do it. We just have no way of contacting her.
Okay.
And I know you dealt with Bill Vet Catch. If you could just reach out to him, she should have received it in the mail. If you could just verify he got that.
That's too bad because I thought we were going to personally invite representatives of these organizations to
and
come
we
and
can still do that.
presentation to them and give them the check.
We
at
still
that
have those
time. I think
checks,
it's
right?
very
Yeah.
impersonal that we just mailed them, but that's just my opinion.
Well, I mean,
I hope it went with a letter or something.
I didn't ask him that. I mean, I know he personally delivered one, and
Because like if you just send a check blindly, I mean, how are they supposed to know what it was for or anything like that? So
I can find out.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he probably put some kind of letter in there, and not just a check in the mail. And you may have talked to them.
who's he?
Ron McDonald, the chamber president.
Oh, okay.
He's one that did it, and he's
Right.
so I can get more details. But I talked to him earlier today. His birthday today, and so he was
Okay.
busy. But he did give me the status that everything was out but the one.
Okay.
He does things the right way, so I can't imagine he just dropped a check in the mail. But I know he tried to reach out, and he probably tried to hand deliver it, and they probably requested it to be mailed. And I don't know. I wasn't doing it, so. But if you could reach out to them, we can
Okay.
still have them come in, and we can write up
It's
a
up there.
$260 check. It's a very small amount to boast about.
Yeah.
So that's that was Ron's thought, that do we really want to have some kind of thing for such a small amount? Now, if we had them all here and we did a big check amongst the 5 of them for the 1,300, that might be something worthwhile.
And
Again,
we weren't able to do the match. See if anybody was able to do the match on it.
I did ask the attorney about that, and as I'm trying to remember that. Did I give you the stats of that, or she wanted to close it out?
Okay,
It was
understood.
she didn't like the whole
Use what you have and
Yeah.
yeah.
next time.
Yeah.
basically.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, I did talk to her about that.
Okay. In the event we do something like that again, will we be able to do
So,
that then?
Andy, I think I mentioned to you, I don't know if you still have it on your plate or not, about creating the
mechanism.
for donations to come in so that we can
Yeah.
redistribute.
There was a mechanism to receive or to transfer donations.
For basis of us to support a nonprofit. But what we need in place is, we picked these 5, but the problem is we didn't put it out to bid to say who's interested in receiving funds for donation or whatever for this, if it was going to be substance abuse or whatever. And that way they could actually request the city, they could tell us about their nonprofit, what they do, where they're at, and then we would basically be able to choose from a list of people that submitted interest. And that way we don't exclude anybody purposely. It's a campaign to, well, that's it.
Do you want to present that at a council meeting and have them come in? So
So I think I brought it up. I can't remember if I brought it up when Matt was here or just right after, but I'll bring it up again on Tuesday. That I know Nancy's aware of it. We just need to draft something up, use somebody else's.
The tax collector's office, I think, is
Yeah,
who
tax collector's office does.
they do it.
They do something similar where they take money in and they distribute it. We just don't. We couldn't do this through the city because of that reason. We didn't. We all just kind of threw some things things that were near and dear to our hearts out there. And as we probably got too many to make it a decent donation, but everybody got a little something. But in the future, as we do these things, we want to have a process in place where we can actually support nonprofits with this type of stuff. So,
Try to get that done ASAP.
yeah, and actually, it's going to be a big part of some of the events that we'll put on through the event committee. One, the mayor's ball, if we continue to have that ball every year, my thought is to do that for charity, and whether it be at the holiday time or doing the same time frame for the city's birthday, but the all the proceeds would go to a given charity. And so we'll need to have something in place as we go forward.
So rather than a one-time thing, this might be something we use.
Yeah,
sometimes a year.
it's something we're going to need to continue, because anytime you have these events, you have the silent auctions, these dunk tanks, if we have stuff at the park, or any kind of special event we put on where we have the opportunity to solicit donations for good cause or whatever, we want to be able to handle that through the city.
I think we should definitely have a dunk tank
Yeah, well, I have no problem. I tell you what,
at every event.
at every summer event for sure.
No, I think, I mean, it's Florida, sun year round. I don't see why we wouldn't be able to have one, at the Mayor's Bowl or any event.
Given the fact that you were never in a dunk tank, I can see why you have that opinion.
But I mean, I just think the participation and the funds generated.
It was fun,
It went
and
really,
I must say,
I enjoyed it.
as did you throw?
Oh, I threw.
Okay, how much of this $1,000 was from that? But
I think you were giving kids money to throw.
spread the wealth.
I was just trying to help out. It's all I can do to help.
No, it was fun. It was very refreshing. I a little apprehensive at first, but it felt really good. And I went down a lot.
It's for a good cause.
It's for 5 good causes. So.
Mr. Chairman, would this, whatever you're going to draft, is it so that we can specifically pick which charity we want, or
Yeah, we would basically put out the word to say we're interested in supporting a charity,
Okay.
and we could probably put out we're interested in supporting a type of charity, right?
Okay.
If we want to kind of
As
narrow
opposed
down.
to what we did here,
Yeah.
where we just
random ideas. So we would put that out, and we would basically put that out, and we'd have charities vie for that, not buy, but vie for that. Bid that, hey, we'd be interested, and it tells about, and then we would get together and at council level or some committee or whatever, and we would look at that and we would make a recommendation. Okay, we'd like to choose this charity support for this
Okay.
year or whatever, and that way nobody comes back and say, well, hey, I didn't get a chance, and I do this type of thing as well. That's the
Okay. As opposed to where we did here,
Right.
where
you have Vet Catch, who helped out with the fishing tournament and his charity. Nothing wrong with that, right? But let's say that somebody does the same thing that Bill does, and he said, well, why do you, I do the same thing. I take vets out to fish, and I didn't get a chance to participate in this donation. And so it just takes that
out of the
potential
okay.
out of it. It's no bias. It's you apply, and we select based on, criteria.
Okay.
I think the tax collector doesn't mind money, so I mean, if we're doing it by event.
Yeah, and if you do one, you don't do the same one all the time.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of times companies will partner with a certain charity, like United Way. I think companies do that a lot or whatever.
Right.
Again, from a government perspective, you got to be careful of all that. So,
Has Nancy approved that process?
well, she's got to write up. She's the one that wants that process for us to do that. So,
Okay.
that's why we had to use this McDonald's School of Business to kind of handle this, because to take us out of it, and we were the avenue to collect the money, but we didn't do anything with it. It's the
Can't
change.
distribute it.
Yeah.
We just gave it to the nonprofit to distribute how they want.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions on that? Okay. All right. Okay, back to our budget. Anything else on the budget? All good?
I'm good.
Looks good.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to say that Member Robinson.
Okay. Is she gone for good?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Let the record show that Member Robinson has left the building. Okay. Next up is item number 3, final sponsor plaque discussion. I'll pass that to member LaCarrie too.
Okay, so
I think you got some samples out here.
yeah, as we touched a little bit, I've gotten to the point where I'm at the final final draft for the plaques. I extensively went back and forth with TJ a few times, and then back and forth with the actual plaque maker. And give me a second. I'm trying to zoom out so I can find my. All right.
I've got it on the screen too. So.
Yeah. So page 34 is basically how that's going to look for both Port Richey RR Hold and Ocean Honda are going to have their logos in the center. Everyone else is going to have a name, just their name and title of their business, but this is pretty much the format, what it's going to look like. The differences, of course, will be the type of sponsor that they are. So, for instance, in this Port Richey one, it says Turn of the Century sponsor, which they were. Ocean Honda was a presenting sponsor. And then all the other plaques will have all the different names of their sponsorship below. Everything else is pretty much the same. The logo with our sincere appreciation, the City Council, and Centennial Committee. So these are going to be the etched glass plaques that TJ used for the car show awards. And they're going to be different sizes depending on the sponsorship and working their way down. So, unfortunately, I couldn't blow up the. They tried to send me all of the pictures of every single one, but they couldn't send me a zip file or anything like that. So they just sent me really small pictures like that on page 35. But she did tell me that they're all going to be different sizes as per the sizes I sent them.
3 different sizes?
Yes, okay. 3 different sizes, and working our way down. So
okay. The only comment I have, it doesn't matter. I like the way you did on the Centennial Committee where you have members and list of members. Yeah. You could probably do the same thing for council members, just to take out a couple words there so it's not so busy. But or you can leave it like that too. Either way.
Just the names, you mean?
Yeah, I just thought that their name and title should stand out because of it's the council. So,
yeah, sure. That's another way to put it.
And I did it for the Centennial Committee because I didn't want to do member, after each one. So
you could, if you want to do it that way, you could also do councilman, councilwoman on those.
Okay, I could change that to councilwoman.
And then councilman,
and councilwoman.
Yeah,
I could do that.
Or just council member with the colon and then their names.
Like what we did.
Yeah.
With the
committee. Let's see what you think looks better or whatever. But if you want to have their title, okay. Use councilman, councilwoman.
And they're going to fix city council?
Yeah, that's okay. Gonna. The first one has a page 34. Yeah, they changed that. That's
38.
That's because we went back and forth, and I says you spelled council wrong. So they finally fixed that.
And we did have the title Centennial presenting.
Sal, also Debbie's name doesn't have an E.
Oh, it's supposed to be an I?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, DEBBI.
Yes,
yep.
Yeah.
Good catch.
Let me get a piece of paper to write these comments down so I can.
And I've got a pen here.
Oh, you need a piece of paper.
So, I got that too, actually. Now, are these very similar to what TJ had, right? Same company?
Yes.
Are they going to have a little base or just the plaque?
I did not ask, but I will. Do we want the stands?
Are they going to be more money?
Because you can't really. They're clear, so you can't really put them on your wall or anything.
Yeah. Typically, they come with stands.
Yeah, some kind of little wood stand.
They're usually typical. Yeah, I mean, I'll double check and ask. I didn't ask about stands, but I will. So let's see. Debbie is with an I.
Oh, yeah, they added the E.
And then, okay.
Have little lighted stands that I've seen that where you actually have some at home that you can put those etchings in and they can light up different colors. But probably a simple wood stand would be fine.
Okay.
So you got the council titles, the stands, and then the Debbie with an I.
Yep. Debbie with an I, not an E.
Anybody else see any issues?
Yeah, unfortunately they're too small, but the only difference in the smaller ones is it's just the name of each sponsor and their title. Everything else is pretty much going to be the same format. The logo and the body of it is all pretty much the same. So
Any value of putting both the logos on, city logo and the Centennial, or just the Centennial?
I kind of figured that since it was completely
Yeah.
Centennial orientated, let's just leave it with Centennial.
Sure.
That's my opinion. And then the fact that, since we'll be looking into the new branding and wayfinding, the city seal, I think we should start moving that.
Anybody else have any thoughts on?
I have a question. I know Ocean Honda was the sponsor, but they're not in existence anymore.
I thought of that too. Andy, do you remember what the name of the Honda is now?
Yes.
Or Richie.
Fort Ritchie Honda.
Yeah.
Fort Ritchie.
Honda for Richie,
Yeah.
owned by the Morgan Group.
Morgan Group.
So
That's
I don't know what they want, what we should do about that.
So
I mean, they
My
were
thought-
fond of Port Richie still, so
but it's
But
technically
Ocean
different entity,
Honda
right?
was-
So they didn't build anything, although
Right.
And actually we could I can bring this up tomorrow at lunch. I'll be meeting with both them and the Ford dealer to let them know that we have this. We could send it to the GM that left. I don't know if it was Ocean Honda, but that company still exists. It's just not Ocean Honda. And maybe that's something they would want to put at their corporate headquarters or something. I could reach out to him and see if we get a forwarding address to it or whatever. I don't really know that we should associate it with them because it is two separate
Right.
companies.
They didn't,
we can always mail this out to John
Yeah, that would be my suggestion.
and send it out to him, and
He can do with it what he
it
wants.
was him that made the decisions to move forward
Right.
and actually the dollar amount and everything like that. So
he went to bat.
he went to bat. So if anything, getting his information and just mailing him.
Yeah, and I've got his cell phone number. So.
Yes, yeah, I think I do too. And unfortunately, his last email was with this location. I don't know if it's going to be forwarded or not, but
But they're not. My understanding, they're not tied in at all. So,
yeah.
so I say we just get it to John, let him figure out what to do with it.
My second question is, should we put in the body here somewhere, your thanks, I don't know about commitment to our community, but to help us celebrate our 100th anniversary, or I don't know about whether we should, I mean, we have the logo in there, but it doesn't say anything that you helped us, you sponsored the city's celebration.
It says sponsor though.
yeah, it has their sponsorship level.
I know, but it doesn't say like what it was for.
You could, if you could
Just a
say
thought.
Port Richie Centennial presenting sponsor, and if that helps, I don't know if in that one line.
But
That's
we
it.
do have the logo on the top. Yeah.
That's what I said. I know the logo's there, but
Right.
you don't
And
know what
then-
it,
Yeah, so like a turn of the century.
And then thank you is our sincere appreciation. I don't know.
So you suggested we just add maybe something that, in regards to the Centennial celebration, in recognition of your unwavering support, generosity, and commitment to our community and our Centennial celebration, something like that.
or up at the top, I don't know if we have to say we hereby honor. You can say with our sincere appreciation in celebration of our 100th, 100 years or something. course.
Knowing how many
Swap
times
it.
you went back and forth with them, I don't think we should change it except for those
Okay.
few little things that you
All
have to update. That's just
I'll
only
change
because
anything on
he's gone back and
consensus. I
forth
mean,
with them like 9 million
Sounds like what
times.
we did with the t-shirts.
Yeah.
I'll change anything on consensus. Like I said, it's just, this is between going back and forth several times, trying to get a
Okay.
mock-up of covering all the bases.
Yeah.
Something in general that they would have in their cases or display at each of their businesses. But I'm open to anything, but just want to finalize this so we can get these made and distributed.
What if we? I mean, the only thing we really could do is where you have the type of sponsor, like you turn of the century. Underneath it, you could put Centennial Celebration. But then again, you're adding a line, and something has to shrink to do that. So,
Or with our sincere appreciation for the Centennial celebration, instead of "We Hereby Honor," we can remove the "We Hereby Honor" and put
oh, that's a thought.
with our sincere
Yeah.
appreciation for the Centennial celebration. Oh, Ocean Honda or so and so.
With our sincere appreciation of supporting the Centennial Celebration.
Supporting.
Yeah, because we have unwavering support on the bottom.
Yeah.
You want to put like supporting.
Yeah, that's true.
Where's this? Oh,
The other thing is maybe you could take out "We Hereby Honor," move down with sincere appreciation, and the top line says Centennial Celebration Committee with our sincere appreciation. Could do it that way too. I'm just throwing out ideas.
I think the best way to accommodate that.
If in fact you want to do that.
Mhm.
Or you could just say, City of Port Richey Centennial Committee, and then take out "We Hereby Honor" and do that right underneath the logo, and then say "With our sincere appreciation."
Well, I like changing the "We Hereby Honor." I think it's the right place to do it. Just look, and whether it's, and I like it with our sincere appreciation.
Yeah.
If we change "We Hereby Honor" to "in support of our Centennial Celebration" or something along that line, then you have that. You say you like to support twice. With a sincere appreciation.
Or you can say the City of Port Richey or
For your donation to the Centennial Celebration.
Centennial
But
Committee
it says
hereby
generosity.
honors. Instead of "we," you could say the Centennial Committee.
Well, we already have the Centennial Committee listed at the bottom. I want this to be a general thing, as opposed not the committee showing appreciation, but the city showing appreciation.
Okay.
I mean, that'd be my suggestion. Take the "We Hereby Honor" and wordsmith it to kind of around the Centennial Celebration, whether they say it's in support of, or your donation to, or something along those lines, just to kind of let them know it's that specific for it. I mean, it's obviously inferred. I think it's fine the way it is.
You could put, well, I don't know. If
You
it's
could even
consent.
take out the "we hereby honor" and just say "with sincere appreciation."
Yeah, you do that too. But then,
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's there now. I mean, it's either we replace it with something, we just leave it there. It's not really hurting anything either way. So,
Okay.
if you got this as a sponsor, would you be disappointed? Example 6, obviously, I think is getting smaller.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is-
No, it's
So,
fine.
I'm kind of-
just
when you
just
say that,
throwing out
when-
ideas.
Yeah. I mean, I think
I think it's fine the way it is. Also.
it looks good. I mean, we could probably hack it up, but if it doesn't add much value,
Right.
If you do you're covering everything. Centennial celebrating 100 years on the top, 1925, 2025. I mean, the only thing I don't know if it's like a sentence, but with our sincere appreciation, it's No, I had it. I forgot it. With
Yeah.
our sincere appreciation in
Oh, the
celebrating
we is
our
from the
centennial.
people at the bottom. Okay.
With our sincere appreciation for helping celebrate our centennial.
Or your dedication to our centennial celebration. We don't have dedication anymore.
Is that
Yeah.
a commitment? Or no? Dedication?
Or you could swap. You put unwavering dedication, take the support, and put it up there in that other line. If you want to,
Unwavering dedication.
then you could say our sincere appreciation for supporting our centennial, and then in recognition of your unwavering dedication, generosity, commitment to the community. That would work.
Or instead of saying commitment to our community, you can say commitment to our city.
We are a community, though.
We think that.
I'm fine
Leave it
with
as
how
is?
it is.
I didn't want to get, I didn't want to get in a lot of wordplay here, so I just,
Sorry.
no, and it's okay, and I appreciate the input. It's just, that's why I asked in the beginning, but when I was doing these, to get as much leeway as I possible so we can get these out.
I like it.
I think it's good. I mean, it's
I don't,
splitting hairs, really.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying,
Change Debbie's name and you're good.
yes, Debbie's,
And then the council.
That will do. We'll do
Yeah,
that.
there you go.
yeah, Debbie's name, the council, either councilman or councilwoman, or just
Council
have council
members.
members and then their names. We'll play with both of those, and then
I think to keep it consistent, it should just be council members because then we had members down at the bottom.
yeah, that's fine.
Leave it with like chairman, mayor, vice
Yeah.
chair, and then council members.
Yeah, that would be
It's just
consistent to the way the
consistent, yeah.
Centennial Committee is laid out. Okay.
Anything else on that? Otherwise, good job. Looks good. They'll appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And as I said earlier, the current price for them is $426, but I am talking. We still do want one for the cabinet outside. Okay.
With
So-
everybody, right?
Yeah. So the $426.
Well, actually, you could probably, because we were a sponsor, you could probably just the city, because we were a $10,000 sponsor,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can create one for the city and just put that one out there.
and just put as a
There you go.
Thank you, Adam.
turn of the century.
Spell that with TH.
THO.
P
Capital T.
Capital T.
Yeah.
H O. Okay.
G,
Adam
middle
Thompson.
initial.
G is the middle initial.
Adam G. Okay, no problem.
Or I'll take a bottle of that liquor after.
Anything else on the sponsor plaque? Okay. Next up, item number 4, final committee thoughts.
Oh, do we have to do a motion to approve these? Or?
We consensus.
I think
Any objections to the plaques?
No.
No.
Okay. By consensus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Final committee thoughts. I can start. Obviously, we, as you know, we formed the event committee. We want to keep this going. Outside of the Centennial, I think we did a really good job. We put on a lot of good events. Participation was a little lower than we'd liked, but we had events worthy of high participation, which was my biggest fear, is that we would have a event that a lot of people turned out to and didn't have a good time. But it was the opposite. We did our job. We did it well. And so I want to carry that momentum forward. That's why we, at council level, decided to create the event committee, and we're going to try to keep a lot of this stuff going and maybe do some different things in the future. Definitely some annual things. I know one of the first things up is a potential car show in October. I think we've already got a date. We're going to try to do 2 of those a year, October and then sometime in the spring. Like I said, TJ did a great job with that. Didn't cost city any money. It was just easy. So we'll definitely do that. Again, as far as could we celebrate our birthday every year with something in the park, picnic or something with some blow ups and stuff? I think or vendors or whatever. I think that's something we definitely look at. Now through the ball, if we do something for charity every year, that'd be a nice addition. And then whatever else we decide, maybe we can throw a bowling tournament in there, annual. biannual fishing tournament. Best fish tournament for sure every year.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely try to keep those things going. They were good events. So that's my thoughts. So I appreciate all you guys' help. Couldn't have pulled off without you. We worked hard here every week, and a lot of homework was done. So again, great job. I appreciate y'all stepping up. It was like I said, we couldn't have pulled it off without all of our participation. Nobody else says anything.
You're vice chair. You can go.
I can go. Okay. I think looking back and seeing it now, I think it did come out great, especially the first time having anything. I think it did pump up the community for us to have more events. I know it pumped up me, so I want to continue it. I know a lot of people were asking on social media about the 4th of July, if there was going to be fireworks or anything like that. So I think that that's a big celebration that should be done annually. People were actually looking forward to that. So I actually loved it. Thank you to everyone. I mean, working with each and every one of you was very nice. We just learned from each other, and I felt part of the community. So it's great. Had a good time.
Thank you.
Everyone did a great job. It was, it went really well. I do wish that we did have more public participation, but I think overall, the work that this committee did, everybody really busted their behinds, and they did a great job.
I will say that I think there's a lot of people that probably regret not participating, and as shockingly as it sounds, when I was just give you an example, I was talking to Steve, and he wasn't even aware of some of the stuff. He worked for the radio station, so that's why I think it's going to be crucial going forward, with like him on the committee, and get the radio presence and stuff like that, get the word out a little bit more. But it was a challenge. But I think people saw some of the stuff after the fact and be like, "Oh, it's cool." A lot of people went to car show. I think that's probably the biggest attended event.
Yep.
I think we had a lot of challenges though too, in that we couldn't start earlier. We had the 2 storms.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's definitely played a toll.
Yeah, we pushed through though. But I think, yes, I heard from a lot of people after, not from this community, outside, and it looked beautiful and everything. My parents were happy. So and they weren't even part of it from here, living here. So it looked very nice, everything.
Yeah.
So it was enjoyable.
That's it. Going forward, it's always when you start something like that, it takes a little bit to get going. But I think as we start to have these things on an annual basis, you'll see the participation really start to grow. That's kind of where everything is. So,
And I would like to see, as far as like going forward, I don't know if this is something for historic preservation, but I would really like to see more of those tours. I think
Yes.
that the tour was excellent. I think Tomas did a fantastic job. I mean, it just shows the history of Port Richey. It shows the area. It shows the community. I really feel like that's something that we should continue to do. And it was not really that expensive to do
No.
it. So
yeah, and I on that tour, like I said, it was kind of surreal as I said on that. I kind of fast forward in the future as time goes on, and these things are, you actually have a regular tour bus that goes around and does that, like you have in some of these places like Key West and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of cool to kind of feel that could really be something that
The Jolly Trolley thing.
is something that happens all the time. So, and actually, I'm surprised that they don't do something similar to that at the Historic Society for both Port Richey and New Port Richey, and kind of do something on a regular basis. And maybe we can kind of help get that off the ground.
Thank you, Sal, for putting in the time capsule.
Yes.
I understand that went in.
Oh, where to start? So, I
It's
guess
not that easy to bury a bunch of stuff, is it?
no.
Did you get something from everybody, or you just said this is enough work?
No, actually, unfortunately, the only person I didn't have, he came in after the date, after they put it in the ground, was Councilman Hubbard. But we sealed his envelope. The clerk has it, and she will keep it in the vault and archive it. It's not to be opened until the time capsule, so we've done that. My thoughts on the entire thing is there was a lot of passion, but there was a lot of chaos. I think the events committee needs to move forward and lock in a lot of things before just planning events. I think looking at what we had, the struggles that we had as far as locking in the sponsorships, making sure we had the monies set aside. I think that those things need to be done. The car show was popular because instead of the committee themselves, the committee members doing all the work, we brought in a vendor, we pointed in a direction, and we're like, do it. But I think that documentation should also be secured as far as these vendors, because we had several police, we had several public works, we had trash collection, we had barricades set up, a lot of city support without seeing anything from that, and that vendor made quite a bit of money from that event, that then the monies we never recoup from. There's also monies from from several other events that we put out as a city, and as a committee that we didn't recruit from. I think that with the struggles we had with the storms and some of the events dropping off that we had planned and then had to set dates, we met those as a committee, but it was only because of everyone's passion that kept that together. But I think moving forward, that the events committee really needs to lock in running the ad for donations, getting all those groups together, collecting all that data, and then locking that in so it's not a struggle at the end of like, what are we doing, who are we picking, and getting that done. It's already, that work has been done. TJ did reach out to me about October, but I told him, I'm like, that the events committee still needs to meet. I was going to give him the point of contact for Walmart. So if he's going to start doing something for Walmart, that's fine.
He did ask me about that, and
yeah.
I told him I was waiting for this.
Right.
So yeah.
So I mean, and if he works out something with Walmart, I mean, it's private on their private grounds and stuff like that, and and if the events committee can become, I think what they need to become is you having vendors throwing on events, and us doing like we did. We set up a tent, we distributed coins, we sold T-shirts. I don't think the events committee should take it on their shoulders to run, operate, and put on these events. I think the events committee should come up with a list, stick with that list. This is what we want, and reach out to people and have them put on those events. So then it work. A lot of people, not even a lot, because we reached out for volunteers and not many people helped us. It was basically on the back of the people in this room and Julie, and Debbie that got these things done.
Yeah, and Caroline's mom and dad.
Yeah,
I mean,
without
husband,
without this group right here, nothing would have happened. It's just, and that's kind of unfair to the people here, to this committee. And I think that the vendors should be the ones to put these things on for us. We go out there, we set up something nice, a tent. We do handouts. We purchase, like I said, new coins or something else,
Cups,
or another
something.
idea, and that's the benefit that we do, and that way that committee gets to reap the reward of having that event instead of killing themselves trying to make sure it's put on. So that's kind of my thought, is that there should be a lot of things locked in before just like planning these events, because it'll end up on the backs of whoever's on that committee and city staff, and that's just not, to me, that's just not fair. It's just it's the hard work of just a couple of people, and then so many other people benefit from that. That's just not fair to those handful of people who do that work.
So are you saying that, like, if we hired TJ, that the city shouldn't get any of that?
No, I think it should.
Because especially if we're using city resources,
absolutely,
I would think that would be part of whatever
Yes.
their contract is to do that.
There needs to be formulated an events ordinance and an agreement, so that the events committee just reaches out to vendors and reaches out to, let's say, Kia of Port Richey or Ford of Port Richey, and say, look, we want Ford of Port Richey to put on something in the park. You just need to follow these parameters.
Okay.
X amount of cops, X amount of fire, X amount of
that they have to
X
then
amount of
pay
trash
for.
control, and they would just pay by the price list that they see on that agreement.
Okay, that's a
Getting that
great
out
idea.
there and letting these other letting these vendors see that, or businesses, they'll know up front, and they're like, yeah, I could do that for that price, not a problem. I could throw on a whole show for 15,000, and they'll do that. So then that way, there's not much work, not much work being done by the events committee, or staff. It's done by the vendor. If the vendor wants to promote their business by throwing on an event, great, but let them do the work. That's why I believe like the car show was so successful, because he put in the work, and then we just basically pointed him in that direction and said, "Go."
And that was his expertise, right?
Yeah,
Right.
and that's his expertise. And there's other, it's like, there's other people out there that do all different types of events. We just gotta reach out and find them and go from there.
I think
But-
in the beginning, the events committee is going to have to really work to get people. I do have ideas. I have ideas for like sponsorships throughout the year, like a membership type of thing. Like you want to be a member for the year, then you have to donate this X amount of money. For 6 months, X amount of money. Sponsor an event, X amount of money, and it keeps us funded, and it also keeps us. They're promoting, and we're promoting with them. So I agree with you. But I do think that in the beginning we're going to have to hit it hard.
Yeah, there's going to be a certain amount of work that the
Yes.
committee has to do, but
Yeah.
once you kind of get these things solidified and they recur, you make these contacts like TJ where they can come back every year and they can do their event, and it starts to become a fine old machine.
And I think Walmart, what told him was that they had to contact us. So they're like the city. So we're the ones that have to reach out to corporate for that. So that's why he was asking. But I said, I have to wait until the events committee set up so we can go do that.
Well, that's where it's kind of like, that's for the committee to discuss is, like I said, I can give him the information, but it's on Walmart property, it's private property. He should be the one to reach out to them to do the car show.
He
Not
did
the
reach
city,
out and he told him
Contact the city.
So
Yeah.
I'll look into that, and like I said, I'll reach out to them and see what that is. But to me, that shouldn't be a city event. It should be his vendor, his company, his car show, whatever they call it, there, and then we put up a tent. That should be the extent of us. That should be the extent of any event committee or anything like that. It's not to put on the whole thing. It's just to be a part of it. It's just to be
Like Chasco.
Exactly.
Like Chasco has their own.
Yeah, so we reap the benefit of the publicity in the city of Port Richey without having to.
Right.
Right.
Without
we
having
can
to do the
like I
work.
said, we're the
Some
ones.
work, but not all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm saying, but yeah,
Yes.
and that's the whole thing is
We're
let
providing-
people know
we're-
we're here.
Right, we're providing that vendor, information, stuff like that. We can, do some website work, maybe some advertising for it. The events committee will go out and promote it for them too, because
Right.
not only is that vendor trying to promote it for themselves, but we can do some promoting on this side.
It
But
would be like a
you know,
cool thing, I would
but-
think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
but that vendor should pay for for those amenities he's going to need, or they're going to need to put on those events.
It's really the city is a hosting capacity.
Yes.
It's a hosting
Yes.
capacity.
So the
Right.
city should be the host, and the vendor should do the work.
And let them pay for that.
Yes.
Privilege.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But-
And the city recoups its costs.
Recoups its
and,
costs,
and
absolutely.
maybe make a little bit depending on
Yes.
if you think of an alcohol booth, if we allow that, a tent or whatever at some event, then there's opportunity to make some money from that.
Yeah.
So,
It wasn't on the agenda. The last thing I wanted to touch about. Did you hear anything further about the rum bottle?
it's on the old business.
Oh, it's the old business. Okay, I'm
And
sorry.
I do got an update on that one.
Oh, okay. But that's all I have. That's what I'm hoping for the future.
I was going to say, through all of the hard work that we had, I think we all had a lot of fun in some respect, which was great.
Stressful fun.
Stressful fun, yeah, but it was good. It was good. I think for the people who attended our events, as people have said, they've had a great time. I think marketing was a big problem for us, but we just didn't have enough time to get things out there. But one thing you didn't talk about was your sign, for the park.
Oh, so that's still obviously the rebranding of the park. We're in the process of dealing with a vendor now about rebranding the city,
Nice.
wayfinding, whatever. And so that will be one of the things that is part of whatever comes out of that. And but yeah, that's still very much like, I think it's gonna be Waterfront Park. We'll just rebrand it to Centennial.
The council approved that, so that's
Great.
going to be in part of the branding and wayfinding plan, along with the entry signs and the other park signs throughout the city. So Waterfront Park will be changed to
Centennial Park.
Centennial Park as we move forward. But that's going to be part of the new branding logo and everything like that to create that sign. So
That's great. So
Yeah,
what's
we'll
the-
probably have the Centennial logo on it and,
Yeah.
and different things. I mean, so it's all, we don't want to just rush and put something together,
Absolutely.
right? So it's, it's going to last for a very long time. So
So that should be a big thing for
Yeah,
the
and we'll
city
have
to
a-
announce all of
obviously,
that. and,
once that's all
you know,
done,
really
we'll
big, yeah, absolutely big
we'll
thing.
probably have a shovel thing or whatever. to do. Yeah, we'll
Absolutely.
definitely promote that.
Okay. When is the time capsule getting done?
that's up to
The future council. I would count on it for 50 years, 25 minimum,
minimum, right?
probably
Minimum
50 would be more.
25, yeah.
Okay.
You did inquire the other night at the last council meeting, not the other night, but the last council meeting about erecting an amphitheater at Waterfront Park. I reached out to FCT and I have a Teams meeting with them on Friday to discuss it.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
I don't know if that was just the way it was set up or whether you've done it that way in the past, but it was somewhat a little bit confusing for the people who wanted to use the bathroom, and then the artist was back there, and then the Johnny Cash guy was in the front, and it was just like it was a lot of commotion there, and then so I don't know if that's how it normally is set up, but it was just.
Well, that's why we had the porta potties. We pretty much had most of those bathrooms closed just for staff only. So that's why not many people were using those restrooms.
Oh, there was a lot of people walking up there.
I think they were just walking too.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of
Oh,
people just walking.
okay.
So it's all we had, right,
Okay.
to deal with. There was original talk about doing it to Gill Dog's property. Of course, that's starting to be overgrown
Right.
and there's liability issues or whatever. So I think, and my thought was, as well as Vice Mayor, and I think the council as a whole, I think we want to try to look at putting an amphitheater in Waterfront Park. That's
Okay.
preliminarily, he's going to reach out to the trust
So
and see
you
if
can
it's
set that so it's
Yeah,
and
and
you
there's-
don't have all that commotion.
right. It's a
behind the
dedicated venue,
entertainer.
and then you can
Right.
actually have regular stuff there. I've reached out to the Morgan Auto Group, who owns Fort Port Ritchie and now Honda. Obviously, they're very big. I had Terrell. I don't know if he has yet or not, but he's, like I said, we're having lunch tomorrow. But I want to see if they would be interested in being a large donor to that, and possibly even call it the Morgan Auto Group Amphitheater, something like that, where the city has a space. We have an endowment, or what do they call those, or donations, crowdfunding, or whatever that gets paid for, and then we actually can have something nice
Yeah.
there for venues.
Kind of like what Sims Park did, where they have.
Very similar to that, yes.
Yeah.
But I
So you have
anticipate
it-
this being a much more utilized venue than Sims Park, because be on the water and
Yeah.
facility.
Yeah,
so
I think that would be
that's
great.
a lot of logistics work out. But I think that's very, very doable in the future. So we're kind of planting the seed now and seeing what we need to do to do that. So
Yeah, because that was very distracting for
Yeah.
me in the audience, seeing all these people
Yeah.
walk behind the entertainer, and then the lady was back there, and then so I think with a set stage like that, that would eliminate that. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
There could be grant funding available for that too.
exactly. So
What's that?
so we're
Grant funding.
Oh,
very
yeah,
early
yeah.
stages, but that's
Yeah.
Good.
we're working on that.
Yeah.
So and we'll be working on that.
That's
So
great.
I think it'll be huge for the community.
Less
And as the waterfront develops, also we want to build a connector between Waterfront Park and the commercial district across that canal, so Pedway or whatever. If you have the venue there, amphitheater, whatever, you can really connect that with the whole waterfront area. So
And you could rent it.
promoters would be able to have events there, or whatever. That's the idea.
Yeah. Get some revenue.
So if you gotta build the venue, then they'll come. So, anything else on final committee thoughts? Okay, I'll move on to old business. Before I jump into the one, there was one other thing that I saw. I can't remember where I saw it, but it's been a while. Detective Peel bought a $50 ticket. I just happen to remember I seen an email or something about it. He
And
was
he couldn't come.
requesting a refund for that because something happened. He couldn't make that. And so before we close that out, we've got money left over. I know staff doesn't make that much money. He was able to attend. He bought the half price ticket for his wife, I believe, and something happened. Is there any objections to refunding Detective Peel at $50?
No.
No.
Okay, look at that. Other than Adam, you're outvoted anyway. So,
And you got Caroline.
and I don't. He probably paid cash down here, so it's probably not a.
He didn't pay cash.
So yeah, so if we
Yeah.
just
Give it back to him.
refund him that, and like I said, he hated not being able to make it, but some came up. So.
And Caroline, you didn't announce you're taking us off?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. You went
I
over
haven't done it yet, and
Sure.
I'm still. I want to do it for the end of August, but I am taking all of us to the island
Charter
city
thing?
charter thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exciting. So maybe
Keep
Adam
my
can.
promise.
Adam as well could go to that.
I don't know about Anna. Maybe.
Well, I'll refund Detective Steele.
If you're serving alcohol,
That'd be a step in the right direction. For
Please
you.
step in the right direction. That's right.
I do want to thank the city staff though, because everybody here between PD, Public Works, the building department, fire, everybody, they really stepped up when
Absolutely.
we needed them. So I do want to thank all the city staff.
Yes,
Yeah.
I wanted it. Me too. And also for the Centennial Festival, definitely like Sal, Adam, you were there. Also, we were there at the Sunday one, but Veronica,
Yes.
she was great too. I mean, the police officers, everything. We really needed help, and everybody really did what they needed to do.
Yeah.
You paid a lot of overtime.
We all came together, city staff, committee, everybody in the public. It was just.
I want to thank my parents and my husband too.
Yes.
Don't want to forget about them.
And my husband, because he busted his butt too.
Yeah, and I will say that after the car show, myself, Amanda, and Sal were in the parking lot of Walmart picking up trash cans,
Yeah.
picking up barriers, getting them all loaded up. So yeah, Sal really busted his butt there.
And Amanda too. Amanda
Yeah.
did a lot
And
too.
as well, yes.
Yeah.
She enjoyed it.
Did all your
She was
thank you
extremely
notes get
stressed,
out?
but she enjoyed it. But,
She did amazing.
Did all your thank you notes get out?
yes,
Okay.
yeah, we the sponsors. You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
We didn't hear back on all the invitations Mayor's Ball we sent out, did we? Like
Not that I'm aware,
office
not
or
that I'm
anything?
aware of. They were either going to go to you or admin, so I don't know.
I thought that-
not received.
I thought we'd get some responses back.
At least a letter. I would have
Yeah.
thought. Yeah.
We'll keep inviting.
The bottle.
They're lost.
Update
Yeah,
on
I'm about to do the bottle.
Okay.
Right now. So the update I have on the bottle, I reached out to David Cook because I hadn't heard anything. They've bottled all the
Rum.
the rum, so that's done. No labels yet. So he said that I guess they're buying a label printer to have there at the office. They're going to print them off a small batch, right? And then he came right back and said that they have. I think they may have ordered some other labels for the actual numbering. So they got a print label that we designed that's approved for the bottle, but then the 1 of 100, 2 of 100, that they have those evidently. He said that I may see him tonight. I'm going to go in and sign those on all the 100 bottles. So those will be in addition to the actual label.
Nice.
And so those are very close to being ready.
Yay.
What kind of bottles?
Whatever
The one we had.
the
At
was,
the,
exact bottle, exact cork, all that's
Okay.
the same.
Okay.
The label, they just kind of printed, mock it up or whatever, but it'd be a nice alcohol label that looks just like that. It's just going to have that limited 1 of 100, 2 of 100
Okay.
labels on it.
And
It'll be
how
signed.
much is the bottle?
Yes.
$50.
what do we-
okay.
How 50, right?
50.
Okay. So now who's going to go through the list?
So we got to work that out. Obviously, I got to go Spartan Manor because Spartan Manor is going to have to purchase the entire lot, and then we're going to figure out how to. We can't take the money and do anything here. We can take the orders, but if it gets fulfilled, at Spartan Manor. So my thought is we have that list in there. We'll reach out to everybody on the list, and I want to say there's 60,
Why?
Mm-hmm.
There's
65, 70. So we might. I mean, some people are going to want to. We can probably sell 100 just to put people on the list, but we got to figure that out. But definitely, everybody's got their name on the list will get a bottle if they want to.
How many are they making?
100.
100.
100. Okay.
And we can get some more, but not the limited.
Yeah, so I've already thought and brought it up to council somewhat. I want to obviously see how this goes first, but my intent would be is to it be a generally distributed product that we license and that they carry here in the local area in the bars, the restaurants here in Port Richey or whatever, and that it would be something they can get at the local liquor stores or whatever to just be something out there. But it wouldn't be limited. It would be the Centennial product, be a licensed product.
So what's our
And
take on that?
again, we wouldn't take anything. We would in that license and agreement, we would support a substance abuse or the alcohol abuse or something, some charity.
Okay,
So
yeah.
there would be obviously you got several in the chain. You got the wholesale. You got the people that make it, which is the distillery, and you've got the wholesalers that buy it, and then they wholesale it off, and then the liquor store or restaurant they buy from the wholesaler, and then they retail it. It's sold by the drink, whatever, sold by the bottle, and but it proceed. So it probably worked out with the wholesale arrangement and the distributor, I guess, where a percentage of whatever that would be earmarked for the charity that we choose, and maybe that would rotate year after year or something. We got to figure all that out. But the take would be donating to a substance abuse.
But does it come from the city of Port Richey though?
Huh?
Would it come from us, from the city of Port Richey,
It would
as a
be
donation?
part of a license agreement. The money would never
I know it would never cross our hands.
door. But
Right.
it's a license agreement. So in order to have that product and use that branding, if you will, I don't know how the accounting works. I don't know. Do you ever do anything like
Like
that?
they would pay like
Any-
a royalty
How a
fee
license
that we
agreement
would
would
never
work with,
get.
as far as a certain 20% of sales go to a charity. It didn't come through here. It would be all worked out with.
Yeah, so if we were going to get anything or whoever did, Spartan Manor would deal with that.
Well, it would be Spartan Manor going forward.
Oh, from us?
So that's one. So the proceeds from this, which would be a lot more because they're just charging us cost to
Right.
produce it. All the proceeds are going to go to some substance abuse entity, right? But if we do a long-term product, that would be a license agreement that would
Then the bottler would send us a check.
it come to us and we would donate it then, or
If that is, if you guys have that in place, like the.
It depends on how
Yeah, I don't know how that
I
works.
would think,
Depends on
I would
how
think
your
that
licensing agreement is.
if you had the donation thing in place, I would think for the charitable donations, I think you could do it.
yeah, it might go directly to that
Yeah.
charitable organization when crossing.
So I guess
don't know.
whatever we decide to do, I mean, if we're,
Yeah.
if
And
we're
of course, the attorney has to weigh in on that. Again, this
Right.
Mhm.
may not ever happen, but the thought is that, and I know that's something that the Point Distillery wants to do. Obviously, they're local; they want to promote their business, and it's a
Right.
good way to do it. It's unique, and I think it'd be cool for the area. So we'll see what happens. But
So if the money's going to Spartan Manor, then how is
Nope.
it?
Spartan Manor has to be the distribution point. They're going
Okay.
to pay for the
Because of
Liquor.
the liquor license.
they're
Okay.
going to pay for the
license.
liquor,
Okay.
okay, and then they're going to at cost, and then we're going to sell it. They're going to sell it for $50. And after so let's say they pay $1,000 for the bottles,
Okay.
and they get $5,000 in revenue. So they got $4,000 to the good. That $4,000 then will go to a charity that the city chooses.
Okay. So there'll be something that says this is from the city of Port Richey, so at least we get some recognition for the donation.
Well,
Is
it's a
what I'm
city.
trying to say.
It's a city
yeah,
bottle.
Centennial
yeah.
Rum.
Yeah.
It's we're
Well,
you
I
saw the
know.
bottle. It's,
Yeah, but I'm talking about the donation itself.
Well,
I'm trying to help the city get
well, no, so
some
obviously,
recognition.
yeah. Once we're probably going to need that that process in place in order to do that or whatever.
Mhm.
So,
Right.
so there's some details around that to be worked out. But
Good. Okay. I want us to look good.
it'll look good.
We haven't in
Yeah.
years and years in the
Yeah, no,
past.
it'd be a good thing. And like I
Yeah.
said, but
we're selling liquor
going
to
forward,
go to
we'll figure out how to do that. But that was the best way I could think to do this, so that we're because obviously there was some folks here that were concerned about the city having an alcohol product or whatever.
Absolutely.
And I agree with that to a certain extent. Drinking itself is not a bad thing. It's the excess of, right? And so if we sell that, I mean, reality, you can go out and buy a bottle of Captain Morgan right? And if you go out and buy the Centennial rum that's licensed, say, Port Richie, if you could use either one, right?
Right.
But so if the proceeds from that, a portion of the proceeds go to support programs to help that, it's not anything different than an alcohol
Right.
tax, what they do now to support these programs to help.
Sure.
So,
Correct.
so that's probably the best way we can have something like that where it makes sense.
Do we have a charity?
Not yet. But it'd be somewhere in that wheelhouse of substance abuse or whatever. Alcohol abuse specific. Again, we got to talk about that. That's all part of that process.
I'll use it for money.
I'm sure you will.
I'll use them right now.
Your bottle's 100, by the way.
Oh, that's for two, right?
It's 4.
We'll have to taste it first.
But we'll give you a 2 limit at that price.
That's right.
Okay. Any other old business?
Motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to. She said it out first, so you want to second that?
Second.
Okay. All in favor, say by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye.